What is mythology? To me, mythology is the grand story of a society and ultimately the human race. There are parts of mythologies that resonate with people because they have certain truths to them that exist within the human psyche. They have they have secret or not so secret messages that give us insight into who we are, why we are here, and where we are going. The questions of the soul that, if unanswered, can send us into dark depression. Mythology is usually defined as a collection of myths or traditional stories, usually concerning the early history of a people, explaining some kind of natural or social phenomenon. When this definition is read, I feel like a lot of focus goes to natural phenomena such as creation myths and the forming of mountains and rivers or divine animals such as Artemis's sacred deer. But even these natural phenomena myths have messages central to them that gives a certain spiritual code. The obvious ones are Christianity and Judaism, along with other well-known religions and philosophies, but even Greek stories like Orpheus going to the underworld, Perseus and Medusa, or Theseus and the Minotaur, they all have a spiritual journey that leads them to danger, yet they have the tools to overcome that danger and overcome that danger and become immortalized, receiving the spiritual reward. A lot of the ideas I have about mythology come from Joseph Campbell, who is famous for his book, The Hero with a Thousand Faces. He created the monomyth, or the idea that all stories and myths follow a certain flow, or they hit all the same eternal truths. All stories seem to connect even in a few details, even if a society has never been associated with the other society. A big example of shared mythologies is the Great Flood myth that is in most ancient people's histories. Noah and the Ark, the Sumerians have one, talked about in um, that one story of that one guy, and even Native American tribes do. Joseph Campbell talks about the importance of myths. He says that there is something that catches you, but over the years we have dropped these things from our basic teachings and have lost the thing that catches us. With the loss of that, we have really lost something because we don't have a comparable literature to take its place. Without mythology, the important messages that catch us are lost and we have to figure them out on our own. But once the subject catches you, there is such a feeling from one or another of these traditions of information of a deep, rich, life vivifying sort that you don't want to give it up. I'd like to catch uh, some people with these ideas and give them a proper introduction to mythology so that they too can understand and see what it is that catches so many people and allows them to work these ancient messages into our lives to give us better ways to live by.